Interstellar basil is on the way, and with it, a very important story about how to build the future we most want and instill hope in our present life. Sometime in 2015, NASA will do something unprecedented. It will conduct its first ever life science experiment in deep space. What are they doing? NASA will be sending a small terrarium to grow basil, turnips, and cress on the moon. And in doing that, as their chief scientist remarked, they hope to show that life can thrive even in the most hostile of environments. I don't know how that experiment's going to go, but just think about that symbol, that in the most hostile of environments, life can actually thrive. Given that almost all of us experience, if not hostile environments, at least hostile moments, what if we actually trusted that in the midst of them, we could actually still make something good happen? And this terrarium shows it doesn't take much. It's a coffee can-sized growing environment. So in the midst of all that hostility to life, there will be this one little canister symbolizing life itself. Because as we all know, but don't often trust, from small things, great things can emerge. From this small experiment, there can be powerful implications, both for growth of life on the moon, but also for all of us trying to make our lives a little more fruitful. This terrarium of basil and turnips and cress is also a commitment on the part of NASA and a reminder to us that we don't just build what we need in the present, but we actually invest in the future. Because in investing in that future, we actually are creating the world we hope that our children and grandchildren will inherit, even if we don't get to. Not to mention that that kind of hope for the future create the future we most deeply want. And it reminds us that when it's a long journey, it's not simply about having enough stuff with you. It's about nurturing the tools and the hearts and the minds that allow people to grow what they need and become what they need as they encounter new experiences and new environments. I don't know. NASA doesn't know if they're actually going to be able to grow anything on the moon. That's why they call it an experiment. But whether it works in that way or not, it's already working by teaching us how to build for the future, to know that from small objects can come great returns, to know that if we want our children and grandchildren to inherit a better world, it's our job to begin making that happen now so that they will enjoy the benefits later. For all of that, I'm actually quite grateful to NASA for trying to grow a little interstellar basil.